More news now. A FedEx truck obliterated by Union Pacific train in a crash, according to City of Wauwatosa spokesperson. The crash happened shortly before 10 a.m. at the railroad crossing at Walnut Street. Now, that's near the city's Department of Public Works building. The city says the FedEx truck was crossing the tracks into the DPW's parking lot when that train crashed into the truck. The driver of the FedEx truck is recovering from minor injuries, and no one aboard the train was injured.
And the crash between that FedEx truck and the train happened at a railroad crossing with no gates and no signals.
Rebecca Clough goes in depth to explain how common that is and what the responsibility is for the driver.
The high-pitched ding of the train safety crossing signals, along with the flashing lights, are usually what alerts drivers a train is coming. However, those safety features are not always easy to find. Operation Lifesaver, a nonprofit that promotes safety around the rails, says it can be up to the railroad company, the state, or the local municipality to decide what safety signals go up. Pew Research found of the 128,000 public railroad crossings in the U.S., only a third have gates and flashing lights. Wisconsin attorney Jason Studinsky, who specializes in transportation, says it causes a lot of serious crashes.
Every time you talk about a train crash versus any vehicle at a train grade crossing, like the crash today, you're talking about a national problem that is really devastating communities.
According to Operation Lifesaver, a majority of train crashes in Wisconsin happen at crossings without those safety features. They're called passive crossings.
Last year, we had 40 train crashes, and the majority of the crossings, Wisconsin has over 4,000 crossings in the state of Wisconsin, and 2/3 of those crashes happen at passive crossings.
Studinsky says because of the licenses granted to truck drivers, they are typically required to take extra precautions around railroad crossings to make sure it's clear. But he says all drivers can be held responsible for a crash.
As a motorist who's driving, you still have a responsibility to maintain lookout and control of your vehicle. Again, I would always issue the caveat that there's a question about whether whether the railroad should have done more to safeguard the track. But nonetheless, an individual driver's responsibility will always be evaluated.
Operation Lifesaver reminds people the yellow railroad crossing sign is sometimes the only warning a driver will get there is a crossing. So when you see that sign, slow down and never try to beat a train.
So there's nothing there, no lights, no gates. Yeah, slow down, look down the tracks both ways to make sure there isn't a train coming. You start crossing and you see the train, it is too late.
Operation Lifesaver reminds people it's dangerous and illegal to drive around any railroad safety gates or flashing red signals. The same is true if you're a pedestrian or a bicyclist. Reporting in Wauwatosa, Rebecca Clough, TMJ4 News.